example, I remember Grandma talking about him, saying when I first met Leon, always had jokes. He had so many jokes. I thought, you must have a joke book. What joke book did you get these out of? He was always laughing, always joking. What do you remember about him?
Well, no, he always had jokes, but see, in retrospect, no, in retrospect, remember, he had an eighth grade education. You know, all of his children are off in college. We're all getting degrees, and we come home and we talk, and friends would come by, and so, and so, uh,
Stop one second. I'm hearing the crinkling. You take it into the kitchen then, right?
okay.
Okay, so pick it
So,
up.
so
One
son,
second. Are you finished with the crinkling? Open up whatever you're opening up. Okay. So pick it up with in retrospect.
yeah, so in retrospect, I mean, you think about it. You know, he had an eighth grade education. He was working at the Frigidaire in a menial job. And here his children are off in college, educated. Uh, you know, Mama was educated and had taught school and tried to teach in Franklin, um, but they wouldn't let her because she was black. But you know, so he was strong in that sense. His family was surrounded by all of these educated children, and he only had an eighth grade education.
Right. Um, as a father, what did he impart into you?
Well, I say it'd be hard for me to say because it was all around that table. It's all around the table. I mean, I well, I don't know. He was tough. As I said, he would get up and get that fire going and go stand out in the cold and so on, and he did it. So he was tough, and he was kind. Uh, as I said, he did have a drinking problem sometimes, uh, but and I said he liked to sing. He sung in the choir. Mama played the piano for the choir. Uh,
Now
no,
let's circle back to the drinking problem for a second. When we were interviewing Aunt Irene, she mentioned the fact that he worked with his father when he was a young boy, and I forgot where they worked, but it was outside somewhere, and that all the men drank, and they would take a little nip to keep warm. Do you remember anything about that? Did you ever hear that?
I remember something from, I guess, from Irene, but no, I never, I don't remember it.
Okay, because she said that's what started him to drinking as a
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
teenager, etc. They'd have this nip to keep warm when they're out working, and that developed the habit with him of drinking.
Well, I don't know.
Quick question. Do you have any memories with just the two of you? You talk about the table, but was there any time when your dad and you were out someplace or just, did he get to spend some time with you personally or by yourself? I guess the two of you, I should put.
Okay, I remember he was taking me to a ball game across the river. See, Franklin was like one side of the river, the other side of the river, and he was taking me to a ball game. And I went into the store to get a popsicle. He said, get a popsicle. We were going to the game. And I couldn't decide what kind of popsicle I wanted. Did I want a cherry? Did I want whatever? It took a long time. Came out and Daddy was gone. He left me. And I don't remember whether I went to the ball game by myself, after that or not. But I came out and he was gone. And then later he said, well, you took too long. So that I do remember. You know.
Okay. Well, that was a subtle lesson.
Right.
All right. segue, unless you have any other questions, Joe.
Where do you think the story about you being hit by the car? Do you think that would?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. See how you want to do this because I'm jumping around. I'm jumping
Oh,
around.
was hit by the car.
So I was 6 years old,
His
and
daddy was at the barber shop.
Okay.
Maybe it'd be a good time for that. Yeah.
Go
okay,
ahead. Keep looking here, I'm just.
okay. The daddy was in the barber shop, and at those days we came home for lunch because the school was only, so many blocks away. So we came home for lunch, and we got there, and Mama's didn't have any hamburger or whatever it was, and she said, "Go to it was Kroger's. Go to Kroger's and get some food." And and so Lillian and I went to go into the store, and Lillian said, "Oh, the stores are going to close at noon, so you can run fast, run." And so I ran out across the street and was hit by a car and knocked me over in the gutter. And now the barber shop was about a block and a half away, and Lillian went to the barber and to the daddy, said, Daddy, Joseph lost the money."
Not hit by a car, lost
Said,
the money.
said Jody, said he lost the money. And he said, "Well, how did he lose the money? He was hit by a car." Right. So that was, yeah. But I say that, there are a lot of divergent stories there.
All right, let's segue over to your mom. What was she like as you were growing up?
Well, first of all, when she got to Franklin, I said now she'd been teaching. She got to Franklin, applied for a teaching job, and they wouldn't give her a job because she was black.
Okay, so let's stop there for a moment. All that education that she had, went to college, et cetera, had teaching experience, but she couldn't get a job because she was black.
In Franklin, that's right.
All right. So let's take a moment, because you've told me many stories throughout the years. Let's talk for a moment about what it was like being black back then, the Jim Crow, and all of that.
Being black?
Yes.
Well, first of all, in this town of Franklin, there were about 4,500 people, 4,500 people, and I guess maybe 40 or 50 blacks. And the black family, let's see, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 black families, 6, about 7 black families who lived on the side of the river where we lived, which was really downtown. And most of the blacks lived across the river. But it was, Ohio was not a Confederate state. I mean, Ohio did not, leave the Union. But so there wasn't segregation. There wasn't segregation per se. But in school, I'd go to. We had to stand in line to get into the. There were two elementary schools, one on each side of the river, and the high school, junior high school. And so we'd get there in the morning and stand in line to go into the school. And this one fella, for whatever reason, he always jumped on me when we started fighting. We always fought. Every morning we would fight. And I always remember he had this big, what we called it then, a big sheepskin coat. fur and so on. And I would hit him, and he didn't feel anything. So one day, I pulled his hat over his head, hit him in the nose, and his nose started bleeding. And that was my moment of triumph. But we still fought. And so I fought him every morning. And then we had recess twice a day. And every recess, these twins, Parlett twins, the twins would jump on me and we'd fight. Every day, every recess in the morning, every recess in the evening, we would fight. And I usually got beaten up because there were about two of them. And so I even asked the teacher eventually let me leave 5 minutes early so I could get a head start and run. And so I fought all the way through until I was in the 8th grade. And by that time, I had learned to box. So after the 8th grade, boom, boom, boom. So they stopped fighting me.
All right, who
But
taught you how to box?